As for collaborative learning, you have 6 to 7 topics. You give this student one topic, that student another topic, and so on. And in the end, they combine them into one project and complement each other. However, the student doesn't interfere with their peers' work. So there's a strategy that relies on collaboration from the start. Not that I'm not talking about it. I haven't mentioned it yet. In the next course version, I'll discuss cooperative and collaborative learning strategies. This is our first run. I finished the presentation yesterday and numbered it today to decide on deletions. I numbered 22 out of 82 slides today. This is the first version. In the second version, as Dr. Saleh discusses cooperative learning, I focused on the collaborative aspect. We've passed an hour and a half, nearing Maghrib prayer and the break. Forgot when the break is. Numbered 22 out of 82 slides today for easy content access. In the second version, Dr. Saleh discusses cooperative learning. I focused on collaboration with many strategies to revisit. We've spent an hour and a half nearing Maghrib prayer and the break. We've taken about half an hour over the break, so time is tight. I forgot the exact break time, but it's still an hour and a half away, around 5 DAS. Covered some parts, others discussed implicitly. Key point, difference between cooperative and collaborative learning. I'm here, Dr. Saleh. I didn't talk much about this part, focusing on collaboration. The training is extensive. It won't fit in 4 hours. We've passed an hour and a half, nearing Maghrib prayer and the break. We've taken about half an hour over the break, so time is tight. The break is around 5 DAO. I discussed some parts and we discuss others implicitly while working. The key point is distinguishing cooperative from collaborative learning. Collaboration involves a research project for students to contribute to, like Wikipedia. The best tool in Blackboard for cooperative learning is the Wiki tool. It's going to be, not yet, an hour and a half until the break. The break is coming around 5 WOW. I mentioned some parts, and there are other parts we discuss implicitly during work. The important thing is that I was talking about cooperative learning and collaborative learning, and I wanted to say there is a difference between them. Collaboration, briefly. And you have a research project for students to contribute together, like Wikipedia. The best tool in Blackboard for cooperative learning is the Wiki tool. The nature of the Wiki is editable, so I can modify the information and get approval from others. So that's one type of collaborative learning tool. You have a research project or a project that you want the students to collaborate on, like Wikipedia. The best tool in Blackboard for cooperative learning is the Wiki tool. The nature of the Wiki is editable, meaning I can go in and modify the information and get approval from others, or it could be open for everyone to edit. So that's one type of collaborative learning tool, because everyone edits each other's work and helps each other in the same parts. As for collaborative learning, you have a research project about your own biography. You, man, bring your educational stage and talk about research and so on. And this work gets combined together and you wrap it up. No one interferes with someone else's work. You can see the impact in cooperative learning. The grade is for the whole group. I mean, what you said is possible, Dr. Saleh. A student relies on their peer in cooperative learning. And the idea is that this student, they just go along with the group saying things like, okay, I agree, yeah, sounds good, let's write together. So they're just going with the flow and getting grades they don't really deserve. Because in the cooperative learning system, the grade the group receives will also be given to that student. In collaborative learning, it is very easy to detect a deficient student. From the perspective of the discussion, you're working on a specific part and you did it well or not. Your peers have nothing to do with it. You, my country, are working on this part. Whether you are finished or not, you are not back to the project. Work alone, no one will help you, no one will cooperate with you. We share. There's collaboration here, but our goal is sharing, not collaboration. Learning downside, cooperative downside. Student might not work but get same grade. Advantage, comprehensive learning, all topics covered. Sharing advantage, know who's working, individual work. Downside, student might grasp 1 to 2 skills, others handle rest, not applying to all skills. Solution needed, Dr. Saleh. Work cooperatively, covers all skills, but doesn't show diligent students. All get same grade, cooperative. In sharing, student picks 1 to 2 skills from peers. Mastery not guaranteed. So what's the downside? The student doesn't apply themselves to all the topics. If there are 5 skills, the student might only pick up 1 or 2 of them, while the rest of the skills are being worked on by others. So they're not applying themselves to all the skills. So you need to find a solution, Dr. Saleh. Should I work cooperatively? The student will work on all these skills. That's an advantage. But you won't be able to see the good work of the diligent student compared to the lazy one. And in the end, they all have to get the same grade because it's cooperative. Now, moving on to the second part. In collaborative learning, the student won't work on all the skills. They'll only pick up 1 or 2 skills from the work of their peers. And you can't guarantee that they'll master all the skills. So, they're only mastering 1 or 2 simple things. Okay, fine, and then I accepted it like that. But here the advantage is that you'll discover which student is working and which student is just slacking off. The one who's slacking off, the whole project depends on you. You're the one who's facing the problem. Is this bracelet clear to everyone, the difference between cooperative learning strategies and collaborative learning strategies? Difference between cooperation and collaboration? I explained the advantages and disadvantages of both. As for the strategies, can someone respond to me? Dr. Mebdad, Dr. Mohammed Al-Mukhtar, Dr. Abu Al-Qais. Dr. Abu Al-Qais is always with me in all the sessions. Dr. Abu Al-Qais, Dr. Abdul Hamid. The names are coming quickly. Good, good, I'm happy. Dr. Izzat, Dr. Sulaiman, Dr. Mohammed Al-Tayyib, Dr. Mohammed Ali Izam, Dr. Ilham, Dr. Thania. Dr. Thania has also attended many lectures with me. Dr. Al, Dr. Amjad, Dr. Noah, Hassan Haj, great, great, Dr. Talal, Dr. Rula. All right, everyone, I'm excellent. I'm happy that people could join me in understanding the difference between cooperative learning strategies and collaborative learning strategies as an approach. Now, let's start talking. Let me just take a moment to wrap up this discussion, and then I'll talk to you about the really challenging slide that's in front of me. All right, let's start talking. I just want to wrap up this discussion. Now, I want to talk to you about the really challenging slide that's in front of me. There are various and diverse strategies, and I can diversify with more than one strategy in e-learning. One of the most important e-learning strategies is the flipped learning strategy. Some people call it the flipped classroom itself, but of course it is the approved term. In Saudi Arabia, the National Center for E-Learning officially uses flipped learning, not flipped classroom or reverse learning. Some might say reverse learning or flipped classroom, but officially it's flipped learning. These terms are from the National Center for E-Learning, not from the internet or a specific reference. They are directly from the center approved strategies. I'll provide the reference from Dr. Lulu at the National Center, including the page number. I'm summarizing to explain. If I had worked on it, I'd have made a 200-slide presentation. So I'm summarizing here. Flipped learning is known for discussions and collaborative learning. I've explained some concepts. These strategies are from the National Center for E-Learning. I'm summarizing to explain. I would have made a 200-slide presentation. Flipped learning is known for discussions and collaboration. I've explained these concepts. Dr. Inas notes Blackboard's sharing tools like wikis are more collaborative than sharing. Collaborative projects are part of sharing. So I'm summarizing here because I explained it. Flipped learning is well known, and so is discussion and collaborative learning. I've covered some of these topics, So Dr. Enas is asking a question. She says that Blackboard is rich in tools, of course, that encourage sharing, like wikis. But the wiki doctor is more collaborative than it is sharing. So keep that in mind. All right. And of course, collaborative projects, yes, indeed, are part of sharing. Collaborative projects, Dr. Enas. And wikis are considered collaborative. We can adjust things to make them more participatory, especially in discussions. Of course, discussion forums are participatory. Anything that allows for editing by peers is collaborative, while anything that doesn't allow for peer editing is participatory. Is that clear? We covered that in the literature. All right, doctor, this was said by Dr. Enas Abdel Wahab. Dr. Lua Daman, Dr. Enas provided us with the term, and Dr. Suhair has kindly given us the first version of the training package. Oh, of course, but Dr. Suhair, this is the first edition of the package. I don't mind if we label it as a trial version. I prefer to improve the performance a bit. So I'll give you the first edition without any problem, but those who attend the same training with me next semester, will find it quite different.